And now thinking back and the dates that I remember, like his 40th birthday, 15 days before the Shera murders, we were celebrating him from the bar in Paragould, Arkansas, all the way to our house. We put on the light poles, Lordy Lordy Roberts 40. Big poster boards all the way home. Like, we're celebrating you, and then you're going off and doing this.
Deborah Brashears must now place every childhood memory involving her father, Robert, on a calendar scarred with the horrific crimes he committed from February 1997 until his suicide in January 1999. Brashears lived with Deborah, her mother Rose, and her twin half-sisters in Arkansas during most of that violent time. Deborah knew her dad was gone, a lot. She even knew about some of his petty crimes. She did not know her dad was a killer and rapist of women and young girls. Now she knows all that and knows with certainty that her childhood is gone. So are the memories of the man she used to call her daddy. Deborah calls him something else now.
I didn't want to say POS the entire time. People were like, who in the world is she talking about? But that's what I try and refer him to, is POS. Piece of like, that's just what he is. And I commended myself growing up, like, oh, everybody else around me, your father's a POS. Like, it was a joke. And now I'm like, everything I ever said growing up was a lie, and it all because of him. All because of him. He set the bar real high, I thought. That bar was a lot lower. That bar was in hell, and didn't realize it.
So what if it was just a drifter, and that's why nobody knows him?
You walk in and see what someone has done to them?
I don't know how we kept missing him. And he just fell through every crack there was.
I'm just a firm believer that there's more cases out there.
My mother would leave for work and tell us, do not let him out of the house.
He doesn't always stick to the same weapons. He doesn't always do things the same way.
At the end of the day, it's for the girls. So you need to make damn sure you've got all the answers.
I'm Kathy Sweeney. This is Chasing a Ghost, Chapter 7, A Daughter's Reckoning. This episode contains some descriptions of crime scenes and strong language. Please listen with care.
My father was a serial killer.
When Deborah Brashears spoke those words to me in January 2019, she was still coming to terms with what they really meant. Deborah has come a very long way since that interview, the first one she ever did. I had saved her number and reached back out to her on September 29th, 2025, the day Austin, Texas authorities shared the evidence linking her father, Robert Brashears, to the 1991 yogurt shop murders.
This day has been a long time coming.
I have interviewed Deborah twice over Zoom since the news broke. That first week, she found herself once again expressing shock at her father's crimes and apologizing to the families of his victims.
It's not who done this. We know who done this. Now we have to figure out where was he.
We spoke again 1 month later about her efforts to help law enforcement follow Brashears' broken trail across the country. Well, first of all, thank you for meeting with us, and it's great to see you in person again.
Yes, again.
Deborah and I recently met for our second face-to-face interview in Nashville, Tennessee, a kind of halfway point between my television station in southeast Missouri and her home in Alabama. It's been a long time. We have been in fairly regular contact since September of last year, when your father's name was back in the news. First and foremost, how are you doing right now?
I'm okay right now. I'm doing good. I was taught from a young age being strong isn't an option, it's a must, so regardless, I have to do it.
Deborah learned that lesson before she knew the whole truth about her father. Just like she's learned when someone asks how she's doing, they may not really mean it. It's why she is careful about who she speaks to when she is asked to speak about her father. And to make that point clear, Deborah Brashears only speaks about Robert Brashears when asked.
I don't want to benefit from this at all. I didn't knock on my own door and say, or knock on the police door and say, hey, guess what? I didn't email myself and say, hey, do you want to do this? I didn't call this person and say, hey, I want to do this. They have contacted me, and being able to say no is an option. But if I say no, then what are you going to say on your own? What are you going to dredge up on your own? Who are you going to find out this secretive news about me that nobody else knows, because that person wants to benefit from it?
Deborah has no control over who her father was or what he did, but she can have some control over the role she plays in telling his story and in the telling of her own. She found herself being pulled back into the world of Robert Brashears the evening of September 26, 2025. That's when a national media leak put the new yogurt shop suspect story all over the internet. I asked her to take me back to that night.
My mental health is not the greatest. It's never been the greatest from the childhood I had growing up and everything. I felt like I was getting back to myself about that time. And like 2 weeks before that, actually, I decided that I was gonna, for some reason, put the email back on my phone that the daughter of Robert Brashears.
A quick note of explanation here. Deborah had created that email address to separate media requests related to her father from the rest of her life, after he was identified as a serial killer in the fall of 2018.
I'm sitting at home cooking dinner, and I get emails back to back to back from Texas news stations. We want to talk to you about the most recent things about your father. My mother-in-law's there. I'm about to start dinner, which I hardly ever cook. Thankfully, I have my husband. And I'm reading the emails, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, do what? So, of course, I go and look it up myself, and all you see is 4 teenage girls murdered in a yogurt shop in 1991. First thought is, where the hell were you at when I was born?
Deborah was born in the summer of 1991. The yogurt shop murders happened in December of that same year. Let that sink in for a moment. She knew the Texas reporters emailing her had found her online. She'd given interviews in the past. She'd appeared on a big syndicated talk show and a true crime program. Now, she didn't want them to think she was crazy. Deborah told me she wanted them to know she thought her father was just as horrible as everyone else did.
They could bring the firing squad back and my father was still alive. Bring it back and let me hold one of those guns. Like, feel the same way everyone else feels about him. That he's horrible. And I want people to know that I'm not crazy. I'm not with him. I'm not like him. I don't have the darkness inside me that people think that because I'm his daughter I should have. And that's just my first thought, is defense mode.
That defense mode comes because Deborah Brashears has been asked those questions before. Do you have the darkness in you? What about your son? Can we put your family on camera? While she may be willing to talk, her husband and son are off limits. Deborah calls her husband her safe space. She says she is thankful he is not invested in her father and his crimes, or it would be all they talked about all the time. This is how she described her husband's feelings about media requests.
It's like he doesn't want people in his home. He doesn't want the auras, the feelings, all that. He doesn't want all that at all. I don't want my child thrust into the spotlight. If my child wants to write a tell-all book about my mother, like, he can, but that's his choice. I don't want him to have to deal with that. He don't even like me taking pictures of him, more or less letting a media camera in the place where he lays his head. Plus, I have 6 animals. Like, I could never put up with that, ever. And all this stuff in my house and all the 50,000 cameras they bring, and that's just too much. Like, you're already invading in my space as it is.
And when Deborah allows reporters or documentary producers to invade her space, it comes at a price. She has been interviewed for hours, only to have a few minutes worth of material used. And she stressed it is not about airtime. It's about the emotional toll it takes on her to talk about everything when no one's really listening.
It's very, very hard to feel like, okay, well, they just asked me how do I feel. Do I really tell them how I feel, or I'm just fine? I'm doing good.
And when they ask you, do they really want to know?
Right.
Or is it just a gloss over of...
Another question on your whole list of questions you need to ask. Question number 1, how are you? Like, that's where I have to figure out if they're sincere or not, because some people are just doing it to get paid.
And then there's the guilt she feels knowing that when she talks about her father, she's going against the dying wishes of her mother.
He tried, he loved you, he done this, he done that. Promised that you won't talk bad about him in the media on your deathbed. That's what my mother told me. Don't talk bad about him on the media. Please promise me you won't talk bad about him.
To understand the weight of her mom's request, you need to know Rose Fultz Brashears died just 4 months after both she and Deborah learned that Robert Brashears had murdered Sherry and Megan Shear and Genevieve Zatricki and sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl. Now, Deborah knows he also killed Linda Rutledge just 2 months before taking his own life. That confusing tangle of loyalty, truth, and emotions is why Deborah goes through this daily ritual.
Every day for myself, every morning I wake up. Don't feel sorry for him. He did not try. Don't believe what your mother told you. He was not trying to be a family man. He was not trying, we were just a cover. Don't feel sorry for him.
When you say it's an everyday for you, is it an everyday for the people around you?
No. Everyone around me, except for my best friend, gets to choose whether they come and go in this. Whether they want to be attached to it that day, whether they want to talk about it that day. No one wants to talk about this like I do, because no one wants to talk about the ugly, the nasty, none of that. Thankfully, I have at least one person I can talk to that's close to me every day to be able to work out what I go through.
After the media attention surrounding her father's identification as a serial killer faded, Deborah told me she did try to stop talking about him and how he was negatively impacting her life.
I did that, and then I'm cooking dinner in 2025, and...
There it is again.
There it is again. All over again. My husband, oh my God, here we go again. Yep, gotta deal with it again. I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. I stop talking, they're still gonna say what they want, and they're gonna track me down, they're gonna say what they want, and they can still track me down and say what they want. They can, I've watched TV show, or I've watched podcasts and stuff that, oh, Daddy was good until he wasn't. But you don't know what happened before Daddy showed up, you don't know what happened after Daddy left. So that part of my life was good, but then you don't know that what I've said then and what I say now are two different things. I'm finding out he was killing people when I thought Daddy was good. So Daddy wasn't great at all, but that's my perspective.
When you and I started talking again, something that you said to me that really resonated with me was that you wanted to have more control this time over the narrative of your story than you had the first time. Do you feel like you've had that ability to have better control this time?
Having control with any type of media is hard, unless you are putting it out yourself. It is very, very hard to deal with that. You feel like, okay, they asked the question, I need to answer it. Having someone there to help you stand up for yourself is a lot easier. But I've had somewhat more control this time, I feel. I can say no now. Even though I might feel bad about saying no depending on what the question is or who asked. But I feel like saying no is better than my own mental of, okay, let me open up and give you all of this, and then I just walk away, and you walk away, and I walk away, and I'm left with feeling of what I just told you, any regret I feel like I just told you, what are you about to air on TV? And then turn around, you just go to the next story.